In this lecture, we will talk about how to approach influencers. Now, if you want to approach influencers and you want to get positive feedback from them, or you want them to agree to partake in your project, you need to first do your research. It's going to be imperative to read, right? So first you'll find the right influencer. You'll read their blogs or watch their YouTube channels, look at their Instagram feed, and then you want to look at least 5 posts, right? So not the most recent ones only. You want to do a good overview, right? A good observation in order to know who they really are. So you want to engage their blogs, their YouTube, and their Instagram. You want to start commenting on their content, right? So you're not pitching in these comments, but you're actually commenting on their content in a relatable way. I just mentioned that when you begin to comment on influencers' content, the goal is not to pitch. What exactly is a pitch? A pitch is an email addressed to a specific person or a company. Pitch emails essentially should be between 2 and 3 paragraphs max in length. When pitching, it's important to use real language. So you're using language that's non-journalist language. You're going to use language that your everyday people can read and understand. You also have to reflect on your tone, right? So once you've read the blogs, you'll have to look at the tone used in the blogs, and you'll have to use that tone to match your tone for sending your pitch. Now recognize that stories can get shared more easily, so use your pitch to tell a story. Be mindful also of what you share. Let them, the influencer, be the gatekeepers of the message of their own blogs. Be respectful of the influencer's time. So many are not paid even though they have tremendous reach. They have a larger audience. So you want to make sure first that they're a good fit for what it is, your campaign that you're trying to launch. Take the time to get to know them, and this will come through when you do your research. When pitching, you also need to pitch only what matters, right? So the most important information should make its way into your pitch. So this is not traditional PR, right? It is not your hire. It's not about your CEO, just what the influencer care about. That's what you should be putting in your pitch. When crafting the pitch, you'll need to write at least 2 sentences that are unique to the influencer. Make sure that there is a clearly defined action in your email. What do you want the influencer to do? Prior to sending the pitch or crafting the pitch, you'll need to make contact early. This is at least 2 to 3 weeks prior, and this circles back to you commenting on their content. Now, this is critical because you'll put your name in front of them before you send your pitch. Make a unique offer and also keep track, follow up, so you don't repitch to the same person. When making a unique offer, it's important to think about what your company or your brand will use in this transactional relationship. Are you giving the influencer products for the content that they'll create? Are you paying them money? So those are things you'll essentially have to think about as you craft your pitch, because this key detail must make its way into the pitch. Now, in addition to those items, you'll need to use the influencer's name in the pitch, right? You'll need to ensure that your emails to each influencer is individualized. Be transparent when you're sending your pitches, right? So tell them who you are and what you want. Make sure they are transparent with their readers as well. So should they disclose the information that they have a relationship, a monitor relationship, that it is a sponsored post with your brand? Familiarize yourself with their readers as well. This is critical. So you want to start reading comments left by their readers. You want to speak to their audience as well. Is this something of interest to their audience? So is the product or service that you're offering something that is of interest to their audience? Further, you want to check to see if there is a policy about pitches, right? So some influencers have their management companies and they might have their own policies as it relates to pitches. Next, if you are pitching multiple bloggers, etc. at the same time, let them know that you're sending the pitch to others, and always ensure that you spell check for grammatical errors, capitalization errors, all of the errors that could be something that could make the influencer say, hey, this individual is not professional. I don't want to work with them. Lastly, it's important to pay attention to what's happening with your message, right? So you always want to be scouring the internet, right? Because things can go south quickly. The same reach and word of mouth can damage as well as help. So it's important to listen and to observe the red flags. Now, according to Bear, 3 key ingredients to include when pitching to influencers are: first, you want to explain the benefits. Tell them what's in it for them. This must be outlined in the first 3 paragraphs. Next, you want to create the specifics. And then finally, you want to create deadlines. So you want to provide a specific time frame for participation, right? By when must the influencer have the content created? And then you never want to send a pitch with an open-ended deadline, so you must give them a deadline. This is critical. Here is an example of a pitch template that you might use in your work moving forward. Now that you know what to include in a pitch and you have a template to use as your guide, how do you approach brands if you yourself are an influencer? Now, for those who are hoping to become influencers and you're just getting into the practice of writing your own pitch, your pitch to brands should include the following: a brief introduction that tells them exactly who you are. What you love about their brand or product must also be included in the pitch. Verified analytics report, media kit, your rate card, and also any relevant brand partnerships you've held in the past must also be mentioned in your pitch.